Hi, everyone. My name is Randall Davis from the English Language Institute at the University of Utah. And joining with me is Russ Wilson, also from the English Language Institute, and Riadh Koubaa from Tunisia. So welcome to both of you. Let's just go ahead. The format of this presentation is 20 minutes. We're going to be each one of us sharing our part of the presentation, and then we'll make some final comments in a few minutes. So I'll see you two in a couple of minutes. The title of our presentation is called Gamifying the Classroom for Language Assessment Needs. And the purpose of that we're all going to be sharing in a few minutes is demonstrating some engaging activities that teachers can use to assess students' cultural or language skills in both face-to-face or online learning environments. So each one of us is going to take the turn to do this. And when we speak of assessment, we're speaking of short assessments, whether they're formal or informal activities. So certainly when we think about language and culture, my focus is going to be a little bit on culture. Russ and Riadh will be doing some other activities that will complement what we're talking about. But certainly I find that culture is probably one of the most difficult things to learn. So we're going to be doing an activity. Again, we're talking about gamifying the classroom, whether it's a game or language activity that can stimulate learning and assess speaking skills. And the purpose of my part is to assess cultural understanding. So Riadh and Russ, we're going to bring you in right here, and you're going to be my live participants for this part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some words. As you look at the words, if it's something that you like, I want you to clap. So here, give me a clap and a yell. Come on, Riadh, a little bit more there. All right, super. And if you don't like something, then you give it a big boo. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and start. And again, the purpose of this activity is to awaken our understanding of culture around us. Here we go. Word number one.
Woo!
All right.
Yeah,
Word number two.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
Word number three.
Ooh.
Isn't it interesting that teachers boo on this as well? Here we go. Next one.
Yeah. Amazing. Good. Yeah.
All right. Great. So let's look at the next one. Riadh has a mixed feeling there. All right. Oh, couscous.
Couscous. Yeah. Amazing. Indonesian dish.
So it sounds like something that you're aware of, Russ?
Yeah, I've had it before and I like it.
Okay. So there was a
Amazing.
Let's continue.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Hey, amazing.
Now, Riadh,
No.
you paused when you saw that. Why did you pause?
No, because then I had the word. I thought it was spaghetti, but then it's another one. Penny,
How do you say that, Russ?
It's penne rigate.
Okay. Yeah.
penny rigate. Is it an Italian dish?
It is.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue.
Good.
Ooh, yeah.
No. Ooh, I think this is sushi or what? Salmon.
It is sashimi. And also for those that are watching the presentation, imagine showing this, but only showing the words at the top and the students not being able to read it and not seeing the picture. It probably would have produced a different response for you.
Yes.
Let's
because
take a
I
look at this
recognize
one.
sashimi, but yeah. Ooh, feijoada. Ooh.
No.
Now, Riadh, you're shaking your head a little bit. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm just trying to figure out what it is actually.
Okay. And that is the clue. If we went as a teacher, as I'm demonstrating these type of activities, certainly just showing the word and not the picture could produce a different result. But Riadh, what you did is you paused a minute trying to figure out what it is.
Exactly.
And so this activity and gamifying the classroom or stimulating learning is what I often do. Is sometimes we feel comfortable with the things that we know, people that we know. Again, Riadh and maybe Russ, we pause at times with things that we feel less comfortable with. And sometimes we think negatively or not at all to things that are new to us. And so let's continue with the activity. For example, I'm going to show you another picture, and then I'm going to connect these activities together. Watch carefully. Tell me what you see. What do you see?
There's
A
a
tiger
tiger, some bamboo.
in the forest.
Okay. And how many tigers do you see? Yeah, I'm going to move it on. So you said that you saw some tiger. How many tigers?
One, at least.
Okay. Riadh. Okay. One. Russ?
I think I saw 2.
Okay. Okay. Now do not say I saw 6. All right. So the idea is with this, if you look carefully, it looks like one tiger, but often we can only see what our minds are trained to see. So if I show you, if I look carefully, if you look in the stripes of the tiger, you actually see the hidden tiger. So this type of activity in my classroom is what I try to help students understand is sometimes when you understand the cultural difference and learn about them, you grow. In other words, when you show new ideas and concepts that are not familiar to students, they might pause, they might wonder, or they're seeing the world through the prism or glasses of their own understanding. So the ideas that I'm trying to share today in this first activity is we can often use an activity like this with words that they might be familiar with or that they aren't to assess their understanding of culture, to help them reflect on what they do or do not know about other people. And then, as it says, the more that we ask, Riadh, you are asking Russ a little bit, oh, that looks kind of like pasta. The more that we understand something like couscous. How do you pronounce that, Riadh? Couscous?
Couscous, yes.
Yeah. The more that you understand it, the more you can open up and embrace it. So this is a short activity that I have used in my classroom to help students develop a broader understanding of culture and those people around them. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Russ for our next segment.
Hi. Over the past year or so, many of us have become very familiar with Zoom and its many advantages for teaching in the environment we find ourselves as educators. However, Zoom, of course, has some big downsides. And so I have some tips that I want to share with you that can help dispel the Zoom gloom.
And we are ready. We are ready to hear those.
All right. So here you can see I have a strange object. And one of the things that I've found out that have been very helpful is to have 2 cameras. I just use my phone or iPad or something like that as a secondary camera, attach my headphones to it, which can really help minimize any feedback that you'll get by having 2 cameras on. And then you can do all sorts of things by flipping that camera around and looking at different things and getting your students engaged when they're on Zoom. For example, if I want to do a lesson on using modals of possibility, let's say we've practiced modals of possibility a bit already, and I want students to kind of exercise and practice with that. And so Randall and Riadh are going to be my students for now, and I'm going to show you a little kind of a sample lesson.
And we are the A students, remember that.
Yes, not the heckler's row. So let's imagine I say, okay, students, we practiced with modals of possibility, and I brought you this strange object. And what I want you to do is produce 3 sentences using different modals of possibility to describe the material, the origin, and the possible purpose for this unusual object that you see before you. Okay, go ahead as soon as you're ready.
Yes.
And you're saying, Riadh, like might, may, could, must.
Exactly. Must, has to.
Okay, I'm ready.
Off the top of my head, I think this could be made of plastic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great sentence. Could be made of plastic.
I think it must be plastic. Looking at it, but I don't know what kind of plastic it might be. I'm not sure.
Okay. What about the purpose of this strange object?
Maybe for putting some insects, for example.
You mean like keeping insects in it?
Yes.
Like
Okay.
it couldn't be that because there's holes at both ends.
Oh, so insects could escape if we did that, right?
Well,
So
maybe Riadh has a different idea on how it is used. I don't know.
At first
I'm-
glance, it seems like we use it for like a pencil case where we can put some pencils or pens.
okay, so it may be used for storage of some kind then.
Storage is
Yeah, okay.
I'm just not sure why it opens up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the real reason is probably too weird to explain. Actually, it's it's actually for feeding insects, but strange. Okay, so if you were to do something like this with your students, and then you turn it around again, and you say, "Okay, students, imagine you have a class where you're teaching all of your students online, and you say, I want you to take 3 minutes, stand up, walk around your house, find an object that's a little unusual and bring it and show it to us. And then we have to guess, just like this, we have to guess what that object might be and use modals of possibility. So I could say, oh, Randall brought something, and that must be electronic because it looks like it has a metal attachment like headphones. So it must be something related to sound. And so you have your students actually benefit from first your model, but then also the chance to participate themselves. They're thinking about the grammar, trying to find a suitable object as they're thinking, but they're also getting up and moving around, which is important when you're on Zoom a lot.
Cool.
And this is also very important to recognize that it's not just about this particular grammar point. You could use this not just for grammar, you could use it for writing prompts. You could use it for listening, speaking, conversations. But just one more grammar example, order of adjectives. I could say, okay, everyone, please describe what is on the screen here using at least 3 adjectives in the correct order in a sentence. Mm-hmm.
He is a very quiet, kind of brownish gecko.
Yeah. So, okay, there you go. You have quiet and brownish, and you used very.
Whoa.
So you used an intensifier. Now he's more active. Maybe it's the airplane flying by that makes the loud sound.
I thought it was cold-blooded at first.
Yeah, you might say this is a small, spotted, fairly calm gecko, something like that. So you can, and it's not limited, like I said, to grammar. There's so many things you can do with this. It helps students to activate themselves.
We can ask questions, I think.
Exactly. You could ask all kinds of questions. How old is it? Where does it come from? So it could be for any level and really almost any English topic. So I just want to remind you that by flipping the camera, using real objects around you, both as a teacher and a student, and getting up and moving around, you can really activate things to help to dispel that Zoom gloom.
I think that's a great idea, especially for remote learners or in classes where you have some remote learners and some in-person learners. You probably could use it in different ways.
Exactly.
All right.
It triggers students' curiosity, actually.
Right.
Yes. That's the hope, that they become a lot more curious about this kind of thing.
Well, great, Russ. Thank you very much for showing those techniques of flipping the camera. And now we're going to turn the time over to Riadh to close out our presentation on, again, gamifying the classroom. Again, when we're talking about gamifying, we're talking about activities of any type that can stimulate learning.
So my name is Riadh, an English teacher from Tunisia, and I am here to deliver this online presentation in which I'm going to talk about a game that can be used both in the classroom and online on different platforms like Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Although this game is a little bit old and some students might not know about it, but it's still engaging and motivating, and engage is challenging at the same time for the students. And of course, I'm talking about this game, which is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I like this game so much, and I use it in my classroom as well and online. And I'm going to show you later how it can be used both online and face-to-face learning, let's say. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about 3 main points. First, I will talk about why this is a great game, actually. And the second part, I will talk about how to play this game or how this game can be played in the classroom and online, and I will provide some of my students' feedback. So let's start with the first point, which is why this is a great educational game. What makes this game actually amazing is that it can be played individually or in groups. So this is something very important. It can be played or applied to a multiple choice exercise. It can be used as a warmer at the beginning of every lesson or a filler. It can also be used for correcting homework and or for watching short videos and answering some comprehension questions. And it is particularly good for light relief after exams, for example. So as we can see, it can be, or it is 100% educational and versatile. The good thing about this game is that you can add some sound effects, as you might hear right now, when asking questions. And these sound effects make the game more engaging and challenging for the students. So before getting started, the teacher here should present the rules of the game, which are the following. So the student must answer 15 multiple choice questions correctly in a row to win the jackpot. So this is the first one, and the students may quit at any time. For each question, they are shown the question and 4 possible answers, of course, in advance before deciding whether to play on or not. If they decide to offer an answer, it must be correct to stay in the game. If at any stage they answer incorrectly, they fall back to the last guaranteed point, either $1,000 or $32,000, and their game is over at that point. I mean, the answers can be reduced to 2 answers instead of 4, or they can phone a friend or ask the audience. Click on the appropriate button if you want to engage the students, or the contestants can ask his classmates for or her classmates for help. So here, instead of probably making a phone call, they can ask their classmates to engage the students and have them participate while playing. After that, you get started with the questions. First, you start the game and you click on the $100 question, then have the students give their answers to the question. So as we can see here, there are some sound effects. This game can be played, as we said earlier, and we can use it for different types of activities, like you can teach phrasal verbs. You can teach, for example, grammar functions. You can use it for grammar revision, whatever your objectives of the lesson is. And this is the first part of the lesson. Now I will show you how to use it in the classroom and online. I'm going to show you some examples. This screenshot is taken from an online lesson given to students. And of course, it was about how to improve English. So that was the main topic. And the first question I started with during this lesson was, how many languages are there? So this was just a warm-up activity or a filler during the lesson. So this is a very good activity. In this part, as I will show you, this is my lesson. And as you can see, I have used it to introduce a grammatical point, which was new to the students, which was about the use of although, in spite of, and despite. So I might show you some of the lessons going on. As you can see, students are participating. Now to some of the students' feedback. One of my students said, I enjoy it because it gives me a chance to see what parts I need to study more. It also gives me my hand a break. Another student says, it helps me learn new vocabulary in an amazing way and gives me a sense of accomplishing something when I get the question correct. And another one said, the game has definitely helped me. If I get the questions right, I know I understand. If I get them wrong, I know that I don't And that's an area I need to work on. So as we can see, this is a good activity that can be played and used in the classroom and during online lessons. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for this, for attending this presentation, and I hope that you will find our activities useful.
Thank you, Riadh, for sharing those ideas on that game, of gamifying the classroom. And for those people that are interested in saying, oh, I'd like to do that on my own, but I might not know how to start, what would you recommend?
Yes, I can recommend this website in which you can find a free template, and you can use it, and you can customize it depending on what lesson you want to teach. So it's free, and it contains 15 questions. It's amazing.
Well, thank you, everyone, for joining this presentation. I want to extend a thank you to Russ and to Riadh for sharing your ideas about gamifying the classroom. I think all three of us approached it differently to give people an opportunity of some of the things that they could do in the classroom or for their online teaching. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.